I did have feelings for him, so I told him that I was interested also.
But this isn't the kind of a large wedding dress on, which is proving a bit tricky.
My hair's coming out.
To Jonas.
I was wondering if you would...
I'm definitely not gonna let my mom ruin my wedding. By no means.
Because I can spot a gorgia from a mile away. You can smell the gorgia.
Uncle thinks she's gonna show up anywhere near this bridal shower, then she better be prepared.
Number 3, Deal Breaker. It's the same old feud making waves in the romance landia of Lexi and her non-romantical love interest, Kenny. They had roused her the ire of Marianne, Lexi's battle-axe mom, who was a die-hard believer in preserving the traditional Gypsy ways.
I'm a remnant child Gypsy, and I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. We're crazy. We like to party and just have fun, and we are all blinged out.
My heart that the traditional Gypsies are a dying breed, and it's a culture that we work very hard to maintain.
I missed you today.
I did have feelings for him, so I told him that I was interested also.
But this isn't the kind...
My name is Kenny, and I'm a gorger. I don't know exactly what a gypsy...
I wish we could talk all day long. From the moment I first saw Lexi, I love your chubby little cheeks, pretty little smile.
And we started dating for like a week, and then he asked me to marry him, and I said yes.
Lexi might have had her heart set on marrying the man of her dreams, but this was one wedding her mother had plans to take over. Both Kenny and Lexi had met their match 10 times over, and they were like babes in the woods with no hopes of saving their tiny dream from the knocking it was about to get. What's interesting was that Marianne herself had married a gorger, and she had paid an extremely high price for her choice by getting cut off from her family.
You know I see you in my life forever. It doesn't matter to me that Lexi's a gypsy.
Marry this gorger and everything's gonna be all right. It's not reality.
To help her change Lexi's mind, Marianne has brought in the big guns. Lexi...
At all, this stuff is not going on. Not on my... She's gonna marry a Romney. That's that, and that's all. Aunt Stacy Lee's in the house today.
You're a princess. Your mother's worked too hard.
Being engaged to a gorger is the most defiant thing I've ever done. I love Kenny, and I'm willing to risk it all.
She doesn't know she's playing with fire. These gorgeous don't believe that. They want her to get a job properly.
When I married a gorger, it was really hard to get back. This is coming to an end now. You want to marry my daughter. You aren't born a gypsy. You have no gypsy blood running. Denounce all the gorgers in your life.
She did not want the same fate to befall the apple of her eye, and for this curse to be passed down from one generation to the next. One day before the wedding, and Lexi's mother laid down the law to Kenny, and the price she was asking for in return for acceptability of their matrimony was too high. It was a low blow by anyone's standards, and Kenny was not about to bow down to his mother-in-law's unreasonable demands.
Talking to your family, you get them all out of your life, you get rid of them, or you get rid of Lexi.
I hate to say this, but my future mother-in-law seems like a bitch. I have no idea what I'm gonna do.
We are gathered here on this wonderful day to witness to you. This is a day of great celebration and reverence.
Because I can spot a gorgia from a mile away. You can smell the gorgia. Them grudges, they stink. I know they're no...
I was told that he disowned his family. I object.
What? Sit your fucking ass down. God, no.
This ain't hat.
I will disown you. You will not be my blood no more.
I don't give a shit.
Stop. Stop filming me, like, for real.
The sanctity of God's house was rent asunder under a barrage of foul language and verbal abuse thrown in willy-nilly by both sides of the divide, and boy, it seemed like the divide was oceans apart. Sandy's part of the ceremony came to a premature end with her walking out mid-service, but that did not stop Lexi and Kenny from becoming man and wife in the eyes of God.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I can't believe she did that. I've never stood up to my mom like this before. I love Kenny, and I'm gonna be with him no matter what, even if that means leaving her and the gypsies.
And in the eyes of God, Alexis, do you take Kenny to be your lawfully wedded husband? Kenny, do you take Alexis to be your lawfully wedded wife? By the power vested in me by God in the state of North Carolina, I pronounce you as husband and wife. Kenny and Alexis!
Number 2, Wrath of a Mother. Lafayeteville, North Carolina was witness to another fireworks at a gypsy wedding, and this time, Jet and Bubba were at the center of it. These two were deeply in love and were convinced that they were made for each other. But Jet's mom, Angie, was not in agreement with their belief.
It's right here. Like, no get out of jail for free. Like, I got some rhinestones in my eyelids. And I got it going on. Like,
I can't wait to see you, baby. I love you.
love you too.
That's the baddest tux I've ever seen.
The reason why I wanted the horse and the horseshoe is you fix my collar, cuz? Me, Romney Cello Man, will be honored and proud to wear it. Romney Cello, Charlie.
What do you think?
Let's get it on.
I'm not gonna let it happen because Bubba is facing time in jail.
In her eyes, this union had the mark of Cain and was doomed to failure due to Bubba's non-romantical roots. But interestingly, that was a secondary point on her list of issues when it came to Bubba as a future son-in-law. Apparently, a run-in with the law and a rap sheet about to send you behind bars is every daughter's parents' nightmare, and these parents had a plan of action in place to sabotage this marriage before it began.
Because ain't nobody wants their daughter with a jailbird. Hell no.
What can you do? You can't do but so much.
Well, watch and see. I want to go through that place because that will destroy this wedding. Well, you know what? At least I can say I tried. Hurricane Angie's gonna get him real good. Get up for her. And for him. I'm gonna get my daughter back today.
While Jet's parents might have been putting their Machiavellian plan into action, she was dealing with the much more serious tactical difficulties of carrying herself out of her hotel room to the wedding venue. Everything was progressing so smoothly with the two lovebirds exchanging rings and vows, when this wedding proceeding was brought to an abrupt end with the rude entrance of an unwelcomed guest. Angie's appearance was like getting doused with icy cold water, but the temperature in the church was about to spike drastically.
Of a large wedding dress on, which is proving a bit tricky.
My hair is coming out. I'm just gonna start walking and then it'll start following me. Technical difficulties. Trying to walk from the room to the car. Girl, I'm wore out right already. I don't know how I'm getting. It's not working for me. Oh my gosh, really? But this dress is going in a car. Stay in here. It's not even that I can't get my leg. My feet hurt.
Jeanette is 1 in a million to be with anybody else but her.
And none of the guests were going to feel the cold in the face of Angie's hot-blooded wrath. This fight was about to erupt into blows, and this time between mother and a daughter. This was a last-ditch, desperate attempt by a mother hell-bent on protecting her daughter from a criminal, but this intervention ended in abysmal failure as Andy was escorted out of the building by armed security. Not a good beginning to a long relationship.
Fucking circumstances, you bastard! Get with your fucking horseshoe on the back of your shirt!
She's fucking psycho!
She's worried about wedding.
Get in here.
Goodbye. Get in here, Richie.
Tell me what to do. Get away.
Tell me what to fucking do! Get out of court!
I'm definitely not gonna let my mom ruin my wedding. By no means. Bubba,
This ring,
with it,
I take a piece of my heart.
I take a piece of my heart and place it into yours.
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Number 1, moving on. Gypsy girl Nuki had finally recovered from getting her heart broken by her previous beau Pookie, and once again, she was considering tying the knot, but this time to Jonas, who seemed oceans apart from her previous man. Everything was going fine and would have ended up fine if it hadn't been for Nuki's bridesmaid and sister Dallas.
To Jonas.
I was wondering if you would.
She's recruited big sister Dallas as her maid of honor.
This is gonna be the best bridal shower ever!
Dallas was really jealous and she didn't want to see Jay happy.
Honestly, you never know. You never know with our family. And I love being a gypsy because we're fucking crazy. What happens in our family when there's a feud? People take people's sides. If Dallas wants to keep running her mouth.
Can you imagine what's going to happen when we walk in there? Because I think they're going to be hitting fighting mode.
I don't like Dallas. Never have, never will. She's always been a little evil bitch.
When we crash your bridal shower, bitches, game's over!
Who was embroiled in a love triangle with another woman's husband, Jay. This was turning into a family feud on steroids, with everyone getting into each other's business, and the wedding was about to get drenched from the muck which would fly about as a result. The bridal shower was the first fatality in this war of roses, and in the days running up to the bridal shower, tempers were running high and tongues were running loose.
So I've heard Melly and Annie most likely looking for trouble.
I don't want her. She ain't gonna get me. That's something she needs to get over.
That would go with her. Like, girls think she's gonna show up anywhere near this bridal shower, then she better be prepared for what's coming to her because she's done. And Melly's backing her up for what reason?
What in the world is my sister? Can I help
you.
Tell.
Well, let me tell you what I'm doing here. Donkey is my niece, and I invited myself plus Annie.
My daughters ain't gonna play games with Annie. I got 2 bitches that I got on leashes, and when I let them go, y'all's fucked.
Coming, and I'm gonna come there, and I'm gonna.
The exchange of verbal silos between the two sides of the family were becoming more virulent, and it seemed that this powder keg was just one matchstick away from blowing this entire affair to smithereens, and all of this over one man, Jay. There were dastardly plans afoot of gate-crashing this party by some guests who had been removed from the guest list and others who had removed themselves voluntarily.
If Melly or Annie, especially Annie, they must be fucking crazily mistaken.
All right, we're gonna place that. How y'all doing? What the fuck, everybody say? Twerk, yeah!
Me and Jay had our ups and downs, but for the most part of it, we were perfect.
Are you ready to go to the bridal shower? Dallas is throwing this bridal shower for Nucky, and the perfect thing is,
I'm at this bridal shower, I'm getting turned up, I'm twerking, I'm having the...
Maid of honor Dallas has done her little sister.
Everyone's having a great time at the bridal shower that I threw.
Me and Dallas has been arguing all day on social media.
We was having so much fun. You know, I was about to get into it, you know.
The shouting match between sparing sides would have been hilarious had the threat of this fight getting physical not been a very real one. What commenced was a catfight of the century, and the cherry on the cake was the police cruisers turning up in full force.
And then, out of nowhere, an unexpected car pulls up at the venue.
There's a girl fight. Come on.
Come on. No, we want you. We want you.
Get out of that fucking car now!
There's Jay.
I told you. I told you. Hold on, don't jump.
Shut the door, shut the door, shut the door, shut the door.
Come on, pussy!
Oh my God. I mean, beating is one thing, but she killed her.
And I blacked out. Once I seen him in there, I blacked out. She asked for it. She knew what was coming at her.
That's all we have for you folks. Join us next time.